The night was darker than usual, the air heavy with silence until it was broken by a single gunshot that echoed across the empty parking lot. She stumbled back, her heart racing, her breath caught in her throat. The world blurred for a moment, fear wrapping around her like chains she couldn't break free from. Then suddenly, he appeared. A man she had never seen before, standing tall, his presence both commanding and comforting. Without hesitation, he shielded her with his body, his eyes sharp and unwavering as he faced the danger. In that instant, her life was saved by a stranger. A stranger who would soon become the one person she couldn't stop thinking about. And that, my friends, is just the beginning. If you want to know how the powerful CEO fell in love with the man who protected her, stay with me until the end. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because this story will remind you that destiny often works in ways we cannot imagine. Her name was Elena Carter. She was a woman who had built an empire from nothing, the kind of CEO who never showed weakness, who never relied on anyone. People admired her, feared her, envied her, but no one truly knew her. Behind the polished smile and the luxury, she carried wounds from a past she never dared to revisit. Trust was her enemy, and loneliness was her only companion. Until that night. The man who saved her was Daniel Hayes. A single dad with a quiet strength, a man who worked as a bodyguard to provide for his little girl, Sophie. He wasn't the kind of man people noticed in crowded rooms. He blended in, silent, watchful, but when the moment demanded it, he became a shield. He had faced battles of his own, not just against the world but against his own shattered past. And though he looked like someone hardened by life, inside he was a father who sang his daughter to sleep, who braided her hair every morning, who sacrificed everything just to keep her smiling. After the incident, Elena couldn't shake the image of him. His courage, his selflessness, it had pierced through the armor she had worn for so long. She insisted he become her personal bodyguard, against his own protests. Daniel wasn't looking to get entangled in anyone's life. His world was already complicated enough, balancing long shifts, raising Sophie, and protecting the pieces of his own broken heart. But he couldn't say no when he saw the faint flicker of vulnerability in Elena's eyes, the silent plea she never voiced. Days turned into weeks, and something unexpected happened. Elena, who had once closed her heart to everyone, found herself drawn to the way Daniel lived. She saw how tender he was with Sophie, how his smile lit up when his daughter's laughter filled the air. He was everything she had convinced herself didn't exist, honest, kind, devoted. And slowly, she let him in. She found herself sitting on the floor with Sophie, helping her with homework. She found herself laughing at Daniel's quiet jokes, feeling warmth she hadn't felt in years. For the first time, the CEO wasn't just a title, she was a woman rediscovering love. But Daniel carried a secret. One he had locked away for years. He had once been married, long ago, in a past life filled with both joy and tragedy. His wife had disappeared after an accident, leaving him alone with a baby to raise. He had searched for her, fought for answers, but life had forced him to accept the unbearable, that she was gone forever. Until the moment he saw Elena. She wasn't just a CEO. She wasn't just the woman who had stolen his guarded heart. She was his wife. The woman he had loved, the mother of his child, the one he had mourned for so long. She didn't remember him, and he couldn't understand why. The accident, the years apart, they had taken her memories. And now fate had brought them together again, in the most impossible way. The weight of the truth tore Daniel apart. Should he tell her? Should he risk shattering the fragile trust she had begun to place in him? Or should he protect her from the pain of remembering? But destiny has a way of revealing itself. One night, Sophie looked up at Elena with innocent eyes and asked, "Do you remember singing me to sleep when I was a baby?" Elena froze, her chest tightening with an ache she couldn't explain. Flashes of memories she thought were dreams came rushing back, a lullaby, a gentle touch, a man's laugh, a baby's cry. And then, her gaze met Daniel's, and the truth she had been searching for finally broke free. The revelation shook her. She was his wife. She was Sophie's mother. She hadn't just lost her past, she had lost years of love, of family, of moments she could never reclaim. But Daniel took her hand, his voice steady and filled with a love that had never faded. We can't get those years back, Elena. But we can build the rest of our lives together. Tears fell, not from sorrow but from the overwhelming power of love rediscovered. Elena realized she wasn't alone anymore. She wasn't just a CEO. She was a wife, a mother, and a woman who had been given a second chance at the life she thought she had lost. Their story wasn't perfect. They had to rebuild trust, face the challenges of piecing together lost time, and learn to forgive life for its cruel twists. But in the end, their love proved stronger than fate. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories aren't about falling in love. They're about finding each other again, after the world tried to tear you apart.